This is the Solo Stove Mesa XL. It's the larger version of the tabletop Solo Stoves. It just seemed like a cool thing to have. But is it practical? This video attempts to answer two questions. Is the Solo Stove a good gift idea? And can I cook with the Solo Stove? Well, this video is not a tutorial. Mistakes were made. The first problem happened right here during the unboxing. It says, do not use until you have read the operating instructions and warnings. A serious injury and/or property damage may occur. And that list of things I wasn't supposed to do? It was becoming more like a checklist of things I did. I did mean to be careful though. I started out with a concrete paving stone, and I placed a Solo Stove on its little stand. If you're familiar with Fotix TV, you know that there are cat videos on this channel. And since I have cats, I also have plenty of wood pellets. It's also used as kitty litter. So that raises a question. In a grid down scenario, with no power and no gas, would I starve and die? Or could I use these wood pellets and this Solo Stove to cook dinner? Well, almost immediately, problem number one appeared. I didn't have a starter pack. It was somewhat difficult to light the pellets without it. Even if I held one pellet over a lighter, it would often extinguish before the other pellets would ignite. But with a lot of patience, I was able to get the fire started. Unfortunately, kindling was pretty expensive at the local stores. That leads to problem number two, missing accessories. Even though the Solo Stove is kinda pricey, it doesn't include everything you need. A fire poker would have been pretty handy. While using pellets was pretty easy compared to charcoal, I still had to mix it up. That helped a lot with getting the fire going. And once the fire is going, there's one main thing to do with the Solo Stove Mesa. Cook s'mores. Except I don't have marshmallows. I don't have graham crackers either. As for chocolate, I already ate all of that. The closest I have is this. S'mores Pop-Tarts. Again, this goes back to the accessory problem. But I suppose it's problem number three. I mixed my fire poker with my cooking tongs. There's ash on my Pop-Tart. There is a Solo Stove accessory pack for cooking s'mores. So if you're thinking of giving away a Solo Stove as a gift, specifically to make s'mores, that accessory pack might be a nice addition. And even though I was holding this Pop-Tart right over the flame, that first bite was kinda cold. Although the second half was yummy. Apparently, survival cooking takes practice. By default, the Solo Stove isn't the best solution for cooking. It feels more like a pretty conversation piece, creating ambiance in the backyard. I'm not going to survive long on marshmallows and chocolate. That's why I got these ninja blades. Don't they look shiny? Well, blades is a good description, as the metal has kinda sharp edges. I was surprised I didn't cut myself with these things. But anyway, the two pieces are put together to form a cross. There are notches, so assembly was pretty intuitive. This created a cooking top for the Solo Stove. That's what it's called, a cooking top. For the second cooking experiment, I'm heating up a frozen bag of gnocchi and cheese. Those white blocks are not chicken. That's the cheese that needs to melt. I'm surprised at the stability of this setup. While there were a lot of mistakes, tipping the Solo Stove was not one of them. I was being extra careful, but this setup almost felt like a regular stove. I like it. Although there was a fourth problem. It was too windy. One of the main features of the Solo Stove is that the fire is not as smoky. But here, clearly something is wrong. The smoke is billowing out the bottom holes. That's where reading the instructions would have been helpful. It says, do not use Mesa in windy conditions. It didn't seem that windy. The weather app showed a 12-mile-per-hour wind speed. So location could be a factor too. The Solo Stove is for outdoor use only. But it can be windy outside. That's a bit concerning for a survival situation. Dinner time could be delayed based on the weather. This leads to problem number 5. To shield the fire against the elements, I used my jacket to block the wind. The instructions advise against that. It says, do not wear flammable or loose clothing when operating Mesa. It also says, do not lean over Mesa when lighting or when they are in use. So fortunately, I didn't catch fire. Although I certainly did smell like I had been in one. Quite a few times I got caught in a big puff of smoke. So, read those instructions. It says, failure to do so can result in serious injury or death. It also says that the Solo Stove is not a toy. So, if you're thinking about giving away a Solo Stove as a gift, the recipient should be someone who can handle the responsibility. Also, local laws are important too. If the recipient can't even use one legally in their area, then a Solo Stove might be a bad gift idea. So, how's dinner turning out? Here's a time lapse to speed things up. Do you want to try? Yum 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 yum. It was very tasty. Although that's not a full meal. This is the third cooking experiment. 2 hot dogs and an Italian-style chicken sausage. This is clearly too small of a pan for this experiment. It is a cast iron pan though, so that's nice. What's even nicer is the sound it makes. There are problems with this setup, but that sizzle sound makes it seem professional. What surprised me is how long the Solo Stove kept going. A cooking level fire lasted a pretty long time. Starting from a full Solo Stove, with only 2 pockets full of pellets in reserve, I was able to keep the fire going well over an hour. Although that was problem number 6. Adding pellets can be dangerous if done incorrectly. I was letting them drop in by hand, and that caused a problem. A stray pellet got caught on the outside of the Solo Stove. It then ignited. Once again, that accessory kit would have been useful. I didn't have a pellet scoop. Instead, I was walking around, picking up stray pellets off of the ground. More on that in a moment, but for now, how did the meat turn out? It was okay. I think the hot dogs tasted better because I had to work so hard to cook it. The sausage was a little burned. So that does answer one of the questions of the video. I was able to cook with the Solo Stove, although I was under-prepared. Some additional accessories would have been nice. The other question, is a Solo Stove a good gift idea? Well, I think it's more about fashion than functionality. Just look at this flame. It's so sexy. I've barbecued before, but that's quite a flame. When the Solo Stove is set up correctly, it looks amazing. And technically, this is not entirely correct because it's so windy. There were more problems though. Problem number 7 is putting out the fire. This was such an ordeal. The instructions say, do not use water to extinguish the fire, as this could cause damage to the mesa, as well as injury to the user. Yet it also says never leave your mesa unattended while in use, hot or while cooling off, especially if used near combustible surfaces. How do I turn this thing off? Am I just supposed to sit around in the cold while the embers die down? I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. While waiting, I grabbed my telescope. Wow, that was quite the experience. I could see Jupiter and some of its moons. It was so amazing. I had never seen that in reality before. I tried to photograph it, but the results were not that impressive. Covering the fire helped to cool things down, so that was another missing accessory. Problem number 8 is also related to cooling things down. I tried mixing the pellets so they would burn more evenly. This caused lots of sparks to fly. Somehow, one pellet made it pretty far. It rolled underneath the table, burned through the outdoor carpet, and started burning the deck. Clearly, reading and following the instructions is very important. Before wrapping up this video, there's one more problem. The 9th problem is cleaning this thing. Wow, it was so dirty. Those ninja blades didn't shine so bright anymore. I almost hurt myself pulling them apart. The inside of the Solo Stove didn't look so shiny either. I poured the ash out into a can, but there still was a lot of ash stuck inside. That's why I'm glad I got the smaller Solo Stove. I could shake it. The next day, I hit it with a leaf blower. So I'm not quite sure how to clean this thing. The pan was filthy too. While the top looks nice, the bottom is covered in ash. So dirty. That is a lot of problems. Yet, I like the Solo Stove. I cooked a nice meal, I didn't hurt myself, I probably can fix the damage to the deck, and I had fun. So, that was nice.